have produced this drone, and they are upgrading those drones, and they have the manpower in Yemen to produce those drones. And you know, those times it's really, really easy to get information that you need about how drones work, how to upgrade them.
I want to ask Salman al-Ansari, when we look at the context of the war, the Saudis strike the Houthis in Yemen, a lot of the time with American weapons and American help. Why is it so hard to believe that, yes, this might have been the Houthis, probably with some Iranian help and probably with some Iranian expertise, because this is the context of the war? Why does it have to be the Iranians and not the Houthis? Salman?
Yeah, thank you, Imran. Yeah, I think it's very ironic when you see the Houthi, which is an Iranian-backed militia, to be saying, we are the ones who did it. Hit us, do not hit Iran. So it can tell you a lot who is controlling whom and how Iran is projecting its power through this despicable terrorist group, which I think will be taken seriously by the West to be put in the terrorist list. So we should forget about the Houthis for a moment. Now we are talking about the 0 hour. It's the time to show to the radical Iranian regime that all its militias and all its works, because we have seen that there are a lot of reports that are leaking from US officials that the directions of the missiles or the drones or also the crews, because there are different definitions of what the crews are. So things will be clearer just within half an hour to 1 hour, when the spokesperson of the Ministry of Defense will be putting the evidence and all the pieces of evidence and proofs of the Iranian responsibility, full responsibility. We should not be fooled by the radical Iranian regime that wants to say that these are the works of these groups, not mine, so I am acting with impunity. No, Iran will not act with impunity anymore. It's the time when we look at the facts as they are. We have to name things by their names. Iran is the largest sponsor of terrorism. It has been supporting Houthis, it has been supporting Hezbollah, it has been supporting more than 75 Iranian-backed militias in Iraq, it has been supporting some brutal regimes like the Bashar al-Assad regime. This regime should really be put responsible, and this will not only be by condemnations and by some sanctions. No, we will very soon, I believe, as a Saudi citizen, we will be taking the right measures to communicate with the Iranian regime in the language they understand, which is power.
Okay, so everybody's playing this game. There's a lot to throw at everyone here. I want to ask Salman al-Ansari about who might help you if you want to escalate this. We have the French and the Germans saying, hold on, let's not escalate here. Let's find out all the facts. Let's make sure that maybe we can revive the Iran nuclear deal here. If the Saudis and the Americans really want to ramp up the pressure on the Iranians, who's going to help you? Doesn't seem as if anybody has the appetite for it.
Yeah. First of all, allow me to comment a little bit of what your honorable guest have mentioned. I think the Iranian regime is the biggest country that uses logical fallacies. It's full of logical fallacies. The Iranian regime, with the concept of whataboutism, is in its DNA. So we cannot get along and have a constructive kind of engagement with the current Iranian regime at all whatsoever. The second thing, when it comes to your question, look, Saudi Arabia is not in need of anybody. Let's be very clear. Saudi Arabia is the heart of the Arab and Muslim world. Saudi Arabia is the central bank of energy in the whole world. Saudi Arabia has not yet projected its power in the region because it's not an expansionist country like the radical Iranian regime. But at the time of the 0 hour, Saudi will take the right actions, and it will be the finishing actions
of
the radical Iranian regime.
Salman, what does that mean?
Let's be very clear. Right now, it means a lot. It means that the Iranian regime has been, for the last 4 decades, since the radical revolution started in 1979. Up till now, what did we see from Iran other than destruction, blood, terrorist support? And look, your guest, Mr. Sayyid Mustafa, himself said it, that they are not shy, and Iran is not shy of saying to the whole world that they are supporting terrorist militias like Hezbollah and Hamas. Just in front of everybody.
Their parameters are different. Okay. They don't consider them to be
we don't have to. We don't have to.
Okay.
This is their thing. Okay, but internationally, mostly considered to be terrorist. Okay. So when you go and try to use your proxies, your militias, to completely have this kind of disruptive sabotage attacks against the region, what would you expect from the region? Would you expect them to be like, okay, let's talk?
I'm still curious to find out what 0 hour means. Okay, Salman, listen.